Good everybody, this is Marcel Kus, and today we're going to draw a scout car for my personal project, which is called 1952, where I focus on making military vehicles from the Second World War, but in my own style, pretending that World War II never ended, and therefore and history takes an alternative course, which also results in different hardware types, different weapons, different vehicles. Now I will keep. I want what I want to do is with this project is to keep the main shapes of most of the vehicles intact, like the famous tanks of the German army, like the Panther tank and the Tiger tank, but also of the Russian faction, like the T-34, which is also a very famous tank. And I'm going to mix in like my very own designs. And if you've seen my previous tutorials, where I was designing a mech, which is like a complete different thing out of this world, by trying to mix in some of the sub details from the world or from the Second World War in particular. So yeah, it is a challenging project, and whenever I have time, I want to work on it. My passion for World War II vehicles and the history that comes along with it was also very great. And since I was a kid, it is a war that changed our lives, changed the world, and it is interesting to see what could happen if it ended later or if some events didn't play out. So I will share more details regarding that tutorial once I publish more lengthy tutorials, because this is kind of like in between tutorial. This is very fast paced. It's like 5 times speed. Like this is like the sketch of the scout car, and again, this is based on the original scout car, which was called the SDKFZ222, which is a German reconnaissance vehicle. The main shape is pretty much the same. If you Google it, you will be able to see it. Now, what I'm going to do is is to change the bits and give it like a technological boost, as if this vehicle has made some progress in its technological level. So yeah, that's kind of very interesting to do. So this design is pretty straightforward. There was no need for me to explore design, make thumbnails, because the purpose of this design was to keep the main shape of the original and just go ahead and just apply my own design language and change some of the forms, but keeping it still very recognizable from our real world. So yeah, the method which I applied here is pretty much the same. Starting off with a very loose sketch, which I just ended, and you can see me here doing already the refined line drawing. So around the cockpit, you can see that I'm making like this embodied mantlet, because most of the time infantry and other enemy units will most likely shoot on that part to block the vision, and it's the safest part for the driver, so it needs to be well armored, and it's an armored car, so yeah, it needs to make sense, I guess. Little details here and there already, like a shovel, which is also there with the original one. So yeah, so it's like less of a design, but to show off like how I approach line drawing and design on a daily basis. I still do use this as my main method of coming up with shapes. But yeah, again, this one is pretty fast, like real time. This took 1 hour and 10 minutes maybe. So yeah, it's not much thinking going on here, so not much of a design going on here. It's just collecting some reference of the original one and just go ahead with it. Now on my background, you can see slightly like the tip of the cannon of the Panther tank, but I can see the rest of my other screen. So what I wanted to make sure is to keep the design language intact, because I did the Panther tank a while ago, and all its details, like the screws and the bits, I want to keep them in the same style as if that was created by the same manufacturer, which during the World War II era for Germany it was Rheinmetall, and companies like Maybach that made the engines for the tanks and so on. So yeah, I'm getting very nerdy here, very excited, it's very cool. Um, you know, it's a very nice break in between work. So yeah, and it's been a while for me to do like diesel punky vehicles. I've been doing science fiction for a while now, and it is I guess a very good refreshment to to vary theme-wise in your concept art career, I guess. Like that will be my personal advice. So, making the wheels here. So yeah, the wheels were like hand drawn. Like I was supposed to make like with the selection tool and make like a pretty straight circle, ellipse, and move, but I was just too lazy. I thought like just go in there, and if I failed, then I failed, then I just start over. But I guess I trained my line drawing to a level where I don't want to care about the tools that much. I mean, the circles are not perfect anyway, but you can get away with it, you know? It's a sketch, so it should be fine. So, going along. So the front is pretty much done. Starting with some metal cases. So yeah, like reconnaissance vehicles, they were like vehicles to scout the area for danger, and whenever they encountered some danger, most of the time they will get away and report back to base. Um, so they were resistant to small arms fire, but like if a tank would fire upon it, that will be pretty much done. I mean, it's still called an armored car, but it's like well protected against machine guns like the 50 cals and stuff like that. Maybe not the 50 cal, pretty much strong, but yeah. Maybe the cockpit area, because that's like you can see like the thick mantlets going on there. So yeah, that's pretty much resistant. So yeah, going along with some details here and there. Doom, doom, doom. Trying to make straight lines. Sometimes I fail, you know. So when I know I'm recording, I'm like still a little bit nervous. I don't know why. Yeah. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments, because what I would like to do is with the start of this new year, and Happy New Year by the way, I would like to upload more tutorials, and this can be a lengthy one. I can go and re-record that and re-render this in real time with proper commentary, and maybe like rendering it afterwards. Because yeah, it's like I want to do stuff for myself in an effective way, so I want to go into yeah, sharing what I know with people, which is also feels very rewarding and really cool. So I thank you guys for the support and everything, and working on my own project. And then with this I can combine two in one, which is pretty cool, I guess. So yeah. So yeah, the start of 2016, I try to motivate myself with this. Making here some details. So it's the door, you know. So I mean, the shape which you see here, the main shape, like very slopey. It's not my design. It's I changed it a little bit to make it perhaps a little bit more brutal and awesome. But it's a feature of the I'm sorry, it's a feature of the original design, which is pretty amazing. I mean, these vehicles were around there in the early 40s already, and they look pretty modern for their era. It's yeah, pretty impressive with the shapes that they came up with. I mean, if you compare that to the American Jeep or the the American half track, it's pretty modern looking. Very nice, sleek design. Still very angular, so it keeps the aggressiveness. So yeah, that's also very cool. Making like a very thick bumper. Just copy paste the wheel. You know, so yeah, maybe just to, I will not answer all the questions, but like the main questions which I always have, and I can gladly answer it again, is how are you able to draw like this on a tablet? I guess it just comes with time and your coordination. So you just need to adjust your brain that you watch the screen while making hand movements on a tablet. But yeah, after a while I'll actually become way faster on a tablet than now traditionally. I still do traditional line sketches, but yeah, this is so much faster because as you can see, I can just copy paste bolts and not redraw them and don't bother that much. Copy paste the wheel for the other side, you know, it's a lot of shortcuts. And yeah. Much more accurate perspective because you can just, like you saw me doing it in the beginning, just a couple of lines, you Control T those lines and then you hold Control and then you just drag the corners around to adjust the perspective accordingly. So yeah. There are a lot of ways to make your own perspective grid, which is also something that people ask me a lot. So yeah, that was one way, what you saw. And the other one is like a program called Carapace, which is a free program, very small tool released by Epic Games a while ago. Very handy for picking up perspective from existing photographs or your own sketches. So yeah, try that out too. It's called. Let me spell that for you correctly. It's called Carapace. Just Google that, Carapace space Epic Games, and you'll be able to find it. The other way is, of course, the countless 3D tools like Modo, which I use myself, 3ds Max, Maya, and so on. So yeah, so finally details here. So this weapon is like a fast-firing rapid gun. Yeah, some optic details here and there, you know, just to make it look more cool. It's not a super lethal weapon. It's just there to, you know, if it encounters itself in a difficult situation, then at least can do some damage back. So yeah, its main focus is reconnaissance. So yeah, this is pretty much coming to an end. I would like to invite you to my Facebook. The links will be provided below. ArtStation, Gumroad, where you can pick up more tutorials. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. So see you guys next time, and bye bye.